Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, welcome back. Today we're talking about your sick leave and what happens to it if you have unused sick leave at retirement. Is it worth actually not using it to have it at retirement, or should you just be using it before you retire? That's the question we're answering today, and we're going deep to make sure you have all the answers you need to be successful. And if you're new here, welcome. My name's Dallin Hawes. I'm a financial planner who serves federal employees every single day to help you get the most out of your benefits and retire confident. That's my goal. So let's dive in. So as you might or might not know, if you have unused leave at retirement, you get some sort of benefit. Now, the type of benefit depends on the type of leave. For example, if you have unused annual leave, then they're going to cut you a check. They're going to say, hey, for whatever time, let's say you have 2 weeks worth of annual leave, they're going to cut you a check as if you had worked those 2 weeks. That's how annual leave works. Now, today we're focusing on sick leave. Sick leave. So if you want more information about whether or not to use annual leave, whatever it is, I've got other videos on annual leave. This is focused on sick leave today. But basically, for us to make that decision on whether you should be keeping your sick leave, right, and actually letting it add into your retirement or just using it before, we have to understand exactly how it works, okay? What do they do if you have unused sick leave at retirement? It's very common to have a lot of sick leave come retirement. So how does that work? And this is, in a nutshell, how it works. Basically, any unused sick leave at retirement, let's say you have 6 months worth of sick leave, then they're gonna add that 6 months into your years of service to calculate your pension. So unused sick leave will go into increasing your pension. Basically, that monthly check you get every single month once you retire from the federal government is going to be bigger because you had unused sick leave. However, the devil is in the details. For example, unused sick leave cannot make you eligible to retire. It can only increase your pension after you're already eligible. Okay. For example, as you know, as federal employees, you have to meet certain years and age requirements to retire and get a pension. Okay. For example, for traditional FERS employees, you have to be at least 57 with 30 years of service. Okay. That's one. Or if you're age 60 or above, all you need is 20 years. Or if you're age 62 or above, all you need is 5 years of service and you're eligible to retire as a federal employee and get a pension, okay? Now, of course, the rules are different for special provisions and that sort of thing, okay? But in general, those are the rules for traditional FERS. So like I said, there are years of service requirements to be eligible to retire. So your sick leave cannot be added in and it won't bump you up to be eligible to retire. So for example, let's say someone is 62 years old and they've got 4.5 years of service, okay? 4.5 years of service. If that's the case and they have 6 months worth of sick leave, it will not bump them up to be eligible to retire because they first have to be eligible. And once they are, then their sick leave can come into play to bump them up and to increase their pension at that point. So I wanted to make that clarification super, super clear so you understand that sick leave only can come into play once you're already eligible to retire with your full normal years of service, okay? But once you are, then, for example, let's say you have 20 years of service, you're age 60, so you're eligible to retire, but if you then have 6 months worth of sick leave at retirement, then that 6 months can be added in and your pension will be as if you had 20 years and 6 months worth of time. That's how it works. Now, let's do an example to show you how much this actually comes out to, okay? So if you want to know, let's say you have 2,000 hours or 1,000 hours or 500 hours of sick leave and you're approaching retirement, how do you know how much time that's actually worth, okay? Well, if you just Google sick leave conversion chart, one of the first hits is going to be the right chart, okay? Basically, it's a chart that shows you, it has a chart with tons of numbers on it, and you find your number that's closest to how many unused hours of sick leave you have, and it'll tell you how many months and days that's worth in pension years, okay, in pension months, right? For example, to have a full year's worth, you need about 2,080 hours-ish, okay, 2,080 hours of unused sick leave to have a full year added back into your pension for the pension calculation, okay? If you have more than that, then you'll get more. If you have less, you'll get less, okay? Check out that chart if you want to figure out exactly what that means. But let's show you an example of what your pension might do to see if this is worth it for you or not, okay? So again, let's do a quick example. Let's say you have 20 years of service. You're age 60, so you're eligible to retire, okay? And if we just do a quick example for what your pension might be, let's assume someone's high 3 is about 100 grand, okay? So it means they're making about 100 grand in the last 3 years of their career, okay? So they have 20 years. We're gonna multiply that by 100 grand multiplied by 1%. Now, if you're not familiar with that formula, that's the formula to calculate your pension as a traditional FERS employee. If you want more information on that, I've got other videos, check those out, okay? But long story short, if someone has 20 years of service, they got paid about 100 grand the last 3 years of their career, they retired at 60 with 20 years of service, then they would have a pension of about $20,000 a year. $20,000 a year. 20 grand multiplied by 100 grand multiplied by 1% comes out to 20 grand a year, okay? Now, let's say this person has a year's worth of sick leave, so about 2,080 hours of unused sick leave at retirement, and that gets added in. How much will that increase their pension, right? That's the big bucks, right? That's a full year of unused sick leave. What will that do? And the answer is, well, let's just do the math, right? Instead of 20 years, let's assume they have now 21, right? That added in to their pension calculation. So 21 multiplied by 100 grand multiplied by 1%, you get 21,000. So over a year basis, on an annual level, their pension would be $1,000 more every single year. So on a monthly basis, we're talking about $83. $83 on a monthly basis. So for some people, that's a lot. For some people, not so much, okay? So the purpose of this video is not to tell you whether to use your sick leave while you're working or really save it and crimp it and take it to the end. I wanted to show you what it's going to do for you so you can make that decision for yourself. Because some people, they're like, look, I like what I'm doing. I'm not going to take my sick leave while I'm working. I don't really get sick. I'm going to take it to the end anyway. I just want to know what it's going to do for me. Great. Do the rough math for you. Again, Google sick leave conversion chart. You can find how much time is going to be added to your pension. Great. It's only going to benefit you. But some people, that's not the case. Some people do get sick fairly often. Maybe you got some surgeries coming up that you're trying to decide when to schedule and maybe schedule before. It depends how you want to structure it, right? It depends how you want to structure it because, again, sick leave added into your pension can be helpful. Maybe it'll be the difference between you being comfortable and uncomfortable in retirement, but maybe not. For some people, the increase that it has is going to be very small. And again, the example I used with the numbers, they had a full year's worth of sick leave, but they only saw an increase of about $83 every single month in their pension, and that was gross, and it might be a little less net, okay? So I hope that helps. I hope it gives you some context over what these sort of decisions, how it impacts your retirement. Now, if you have any questions yourself about this or any other topic when it comes to your FERS benefits and retiring confident, there's a link below to submit those questions and you might be featured on a future episode. So I hope that's helpful. Have an incredible rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time.